Hi folks, we're Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio live stream. Please listen to this presentation as you would a radio broadcast. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the consequences of amateurism. Now, we're at a stage in the Western world today where the majority of not only job holders and placeholders, but executives and managerial people, they're pretty much all affirmative. There are exceptions, but there are many affirmative action, diversity, equity, inclusion, or just cronyism. You know, the big financial end of town just parachuting their flunky buddies into cozy, prestigious, well-paid jobs. There's very few people now in decision-making roles that are there based on merit. The ones that are there that are capable of making decisions, if they dare stick their head out of the trench, they get fired for upsetting the affirmative action folks. And so they just don't. It's like self-censoring on the internet or something. People who are capable just don't do anything. They'll sit there quietly and watch the place burn down, because to point out that the place is burning down means that you are the problem and you're going to be thrown out. So when quite a few organizations need certain work done that has higher levels of sort of intellectual capability, if you will, then they have to go outside. They can't really hire these people because those people, by their mere capability, would upset the affirmative action crowd, and they can't have that delicate social sort of balance upset. So they'll go outside to bring people in to do this work, and so you're there for a week or two or a month or something. So, and this is where we fill that gap quite often. So where we get a lot of our work. So we organise a project and share. Now we're approached by an organisation to do work, and we were for us it's pretty basic 101 stuff. There's no serious complexity to this. It's something we do all the time, and we go about it with a fairly direct and well organised, well-oiled machine type approach, given again that we do it all the time. So we do a contractor work with the client, and we write it all up. Everything's written up and very specific and very particular, and so the CEO, or their people, the CEO or the operations VP or whatever, they sign off it, we sign off on it, and then that's it. So we agree on the start date, the finish date, the fees and the contractual obligations, and I'm a stickler, as I've mentioned in other videos, stickler for contracts. I don't want any. If they want to get rid of us, for any reason, the wind changed direction, I don't care. If they want to get rid of us for any reason, I don't want it to be a drama where we have to go through the courts. So I purposefully put clauses in there. So anytime you want us to go for any reason, all you have to do is pay us out and we're gone. Now, the problem arises when they want to get rid of us for some bullshit reason, like they found somebody who can do it cheaper. They've decided they really don't want to do it after all, or whatever. It doesn't matter the reason. One of their buddies can do it, or the chairman's nephew is going, and so on. It doesn't bother me at all, but I don't want that turn into unpleasantness. So the problem comes when they want to get rid of you, but not pay you out as per the contract that they have signed. So anyway, we've got the contract, everything. So we, or I'm not there, but my colleagues are going in there to start work, which is all agreed, all clearly tabulated and written up and signed off on. And so some junior flunky who's got no idea and doesn't even minimally comprehend the complexity of the work we're doing. And I don't think they could get their head around it anyway, and I don't think they really give a shit. But some junior flunky. So the CEO sends some junior flunky out to to our guys who are there, and saying, don't do anything, don't do that work. You don't do anything until this guy, the flunky guy, approved this. Flunky guy is going to be leading the project, and you have to work through him, and you can only do things that he approves. And the reason for that is because you guys are untested. Now, I've heard this term before. It's one that's thrown around. I don't know sort of what it means exactly, because the people I've heard it from, the meaning varies. But say you hire a trainee fresh out of college, or a junior or someone like that. You wouldn't give them a complicated, senior, important job to do, because they're not. They may not be qualified. They're just a beginner. They're a junior. They're a trainee. So you would say, well, you're untested. You've never even had a job before. So that type of thing. So that I would understand. But talking to us, where we've gone through a lengthy negotiation process, where everything's clearly listed out and made quite clear, then this idea of untested is absurd. It's a comment or an utterance or a mental process in terms of evaluation that you would only apply to beginners or someone who has no capacity to do the work and they've been given a complex that you may see. But far as I'm concerned, we've proven very clearly that this is the work we do, and just the questions we ask, the way we lay it out, and the way we organise it. Clearly, we know what we're doing. That's not even a matter for discussion. So what's wrong? But you're untested. You're untested. What the fuck does that even mean? So, and why, if we were untested, let's even assume let's just deal with that utterance in itself. But the idea that we would then only have to work through somebody who doesn't have the slightest understanding of what's being done or know anything about it, or even be across the issues, that's ridiculous. So when my colleague mentioned this to me, what are you talking? Did you ask him? No, he wasn't. He only let us talk to the flunky. So being the senior partner in the business, okay, well, I better get down there and have a chat to the guy, see if we can sort it out, and see what the problem is. Maybe there's another problem, and he's using that as the cover story, for example. Maybe he's run out of cash and can't pay us, and so he's trying to stall the project, because he can't make the progress payments. So anyway, whatever it might be, I thought I'd better get down. Now the guy himself, he's a white guy. He's gay, but he's a white guy, and he's been parachuted in by the big money end of town. Hasn't got a clue. Hasn't got a fucking clue. But he's the man in charge. So he's the one that signs the checks. So I don't want to get offside with him, so I'm saying, well, what's the problem? Tell me what untested. What does that even mean? What do you mean by that? And he clearly didn't really want to be sitting down talking about this, but I pressed him on the matter, and so, how do I know that you're not going to fuck things up? How do I know you won't? So all right, then we've already been through all this. Now we're talking about a guy who's I wouldn't call him an idiot necessarily, but who's incapable of coming to grips with the facts and the issues. When you go the logical sequence of, okay, this, then that, he just doesn't understand. His mind is such a jumble. And even while we're trying to talk, he's breathing heavily. He's clearly in a panicked state. Why? Why are you in a panicked state? This is not, the project, by the way, is not a life and death matter. It's not that big a deal. In fact, I would rate it in the lower end of, like, if you look at it in terms of risk or potential risk, it's like really low. The risk, it's close to zero. The level of risk here, there just isn't the risk. Now, if it was a high risk thing, then I would, to some degree, understand but that high risk concern, that nervousness over the level of possible risk or exposure, that should have been dealt with in the contract negotiations. It should have been dealt with before. The idea of only after the contract is signed and only the minute work's about to commit, then do you panic? Then do you decide that and so you're untested. Again, what does that mean? It's okay, untested how? What test is it you need? We've already been through all this in the do you want us to stop? Do you want us to just leave the whole thing and walk away? Oh no. Or all you have to do is pay us out. We've got our mobilization cost as per the contract, and here it is. And again, I whip the contract out, point to the clause. You've signed this contract. You have signed it. You've signed the schedule of work. You've signed all of it off. Your signature here. There's your signature. So if you want us to go, all you have to do is pay us out. We're gone. We'll be gone in 10 minutes, 20 minutes max. If you, all you have to do is in writing, say the word, and we're out here, but you have to pay us that. You've got to pay us out if we're going to go. No, I don't want you to go. No. And he can barely talk. He's breathing so heavily. He's in such a panic. I mean, I'm thinking this guy shouldn't have a job sweeping a floor or something. I mean, the guy is so fucking unsuited for this role. I mean, this really annoys me. They could have put someone in that really knew what they were doing, but instead they put this flunky in there. Who hasn't got a fucking clue. Now he's panicking, but he doesn't know why he's panicking. He doesn't know what he's panicking over. He can't explain it. He doesn't even understand there's about zero risk in this work because he just can't get his head around it. So to him, it's all a miasma of doubt and uncertainty. Oh, I don't know, and I don't understand. Let me just hit the panic button because I'll feel better. Oh, you fucking moron. So I kept pressing him on it, and no, I don't want you to go. I mean, do you want someone else to come in and do it? Yeah. No, I don't want that. No. Well, what do you need? What is it you need to this untested stuff you're coming out with? What test do you need to apply so that you're not panicking, so we can get on with the job that we've been contracted to do, that you have signed off on? I don't know. So the only thing, so it came down to, well, the flunky guy that he wants for us to report to, like he's going to be the boss, who also understands nothing about what we're doing, by the way. Turns out he's another gay guy. He's part of the gay cabal. He's another white guy, by the way. He's part of this gay cabal that this CEO dude's part of. So because I trust him personally, and I wouldn't be surprised if they've had an intimate relationship or do have one, because I trust that guy personally, because he's from the gay side of the street, the gay team, because I trust him personally, that's the issue here. Someone I have personal social trust of. So I try to explain to the CEO guy, no, it's not an issue with you. You trust someone personally because they share certain lifestyle choices that you do. The issue is about capability. It's just that. This is only an issue about capability. Now, clearly, we've demonstrated that we're capable in doing this. The work is not high-risk work, but it is high knowledge work, high intellectual property type work. So we need to be able to get on with it. Now, if you have some specific complaint, then state it now and put it in writing, and we'll address it. But unless that, you've just got some vague nervousness that you can't describe, and it's causing you to go into this sort of, I didn't phrase it like this, by the way, but my language was a lot softer with him. You're just going into some bullshit panic mode that even that you can't explain to us. So now this is this idea of, do I trust you in a sense that you share my social values about gay activism or something like that, as distinct from capability? So capability is now such a rarity to be evaluated on its own, that the idea is, or I think we've got a situation now with DEI and affirmative action, all that sort of stuff, that capability no longer can be evaluated because there are so few people able to evaluate it, to understand it, to comprehend it. So it's come to, now he's gay just like me, so I'll trust him, but I can't trust you because you're not gay, and therefore I can't relate to the. And as the capability levels get lower and lower, again due to DEI and affirmative action, you've got fewer and fewer people that can evaluate or understand or comprehend work that involves capability. Now, I don't mean capability in the sense of dig that hole or something, that type of level of capability, but capability that involves knowledge work. And in that sense, the West is allowing itself to be horribly devalued and undermined from within. You've been with Tassos today, your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.